Today we have the S22 Ultra versus the Z Flip 3. Let's see which one's better. Alright, before we get going, this is not sponsored by Diet Dr. Pepper or Dr. Pepper Zero, but if you haven't had these, they're bomb. And if you want to sponsor me, look, I'll drink these. I already do drink these all day. So thank you. Zero sugar, all the taste, at least for me.
Now, if we take a look at the pictures right before the sun sets, we can see the pictures are really nice. The portrait picture, however, if you take a look, it has a hard time choosing the outline or choosing the subject in the portrait. Now, it's a tough shot, but if you look around the microphone, there's a cable. It's really hard and it actually blurs some of it out. They both do a pretty good job, but I think the S22 Ultra obviously is better in this aspect. Where it really struggles is when it gets to the nighttime pictures. Not only are they not as high quality as the S22 Ultra, they're still great quality pictures from the Z Flip 3. But the Z Flip 3 takes more than twice as long taking the pictures. Both of these pictures took the S22 Ultra 2 seconds to expose the image. The Z Flip 3 took 5 seconds. So that's where you're going to see the biggest hit is in low light performance. You basically can only take still shots, and it's pretty much the same thing with any night shot. You can only take stills because you need enough time for it to expose properly, but just something to keep in mind. This is the rear facing camera, 1080p, 60 frames per second. What do you guys think? Wind is a little bit gusty today, so if you start to pick up wind noise, it should be the same on both microphones. It looks good on both, honestly. Here's the front facing, same thing, 1080p, 60 frames per second. I'm really interested to see which of the two cameras has the better microphone. And I guess we'll see with this test. Now, one thing that I'm noticing just in the viewfinder, it looks like the S22 Ultra has more zoom naturally, which is kind of weird. Maybe it's just because it's a wider display, but I don't know. We'll see soon.
Now, in regards to the battery life, you're going to be getting about 5.5 hours on the S22 Ultra, which we already know, compared to about 3.5 to maybe 4 hours. It depends how you use it, right? Now, this is using it at full resolution, 120 hertz on display, and then it's also using it at max brightness. And that's for both of them, right? So battery life is not that great on this, but to be honest with you, it's not too bad. It's on par with the Pixel, which is kind of crazy to think about. Now, when it comes to build quality on these phones, as you guys can see, they're both really nice. They both have that glass finish on both sides, both made by glass. You could just tell that the engineering that went into these is pretty crazy, honestly. The hinge on the Z Flip 3 looks really, really nice. You can tell the accent just matches perfectly with the color, and I love how this one is flat black as opposed to the fold one. It's like a shiny, glossy black. This is more of a flat black or green in this particular case, depending on which color you're talking about. Now, one of my pet peeves is you get these little lint particles that get stuck in it sometimes, which it is what it is. But other than that, build quality I would say is A+ on both. Now, as far as the performance itself, the performance is great on both of them. The Z Flip 3 has a Snapdragon 888, so we know that this performance is good. In terms of chips, it is outdated. It is last year's spec. But to be honest with you, last year, even the 865 is still performing really, really well. In the S22 Ultra, we have the new Snapdragon 8 Generation 1, which performs really, really good too. They're both great performing. They don't overheat. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. They both do their job. Now, I will say the new processor does a little bit better in regards to processing pictures, and you get a little bit more RAM here, but it's expected. I mean, this not only is a fraction of the size, but it's a fraction of the price. So you gotta start to ask yourself, maybe it is a small phone summer. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now, when it comes to the displays themselves,
You're getting the 6.8 inch screen on the S22 Ultra. It's QHD, it's high definition, it's nice, it's crisp, it's clear. Let's not get this confused. This is the better of the two displays. In terms of specs, in terms of PPI, in terms of color, in terms of everything. This is the better display for sure. But do not sleep on this right here. See this right here? It's a 3-inch slab that when you open it, turns into a 6.7 inch display. Now what does that mean? That means you're about the same size at a fraction of the weight, a fraction of the heft. And look at this. This fits anywhere. It's even got a little front display, which, to be honest, it's not as functional as I would like it to be, but it's not bad. But when you can fold something like this, have a flip phone, and have a 6.7 inch display, full HD, it's beautiful. The crease in the middle, do you get used to it? You do after some time, but you still got some beautiful colors on this. The color accuracy is phenomenal. You guys know Samsung makes the best displays. You can't really go wrong. You're not giving up much, and you're gaining a smaller form factor, smaller size. The one thing that it will take a hit on is battery life. But in regards to battery life, I mean, it's kind of expected. If you have something this small though, you could very easily carry around a battery pack, leave it in the car. If you need to charge up halfway through the day, or if you want to charge it later, you can. But this can go in your skinny jeans without giving you that bulk, if that matters to you.
Now look, the Z Flip 3 is on par with pretty much everything else, right? Camera, you know, it's lacking a little bit. Battery life, not as good. But when I say on par with all the other flagships, not just the S21 Ultra, right? Now, is the S21 Ultra all around? I think the phone overall is all around a better phone. But you're not far behind with the Z Flip 3. Now, here is the thing that I think makes this comparison such a valid comparison, and why would you even want to go for something like the Z Flip 3 as opposed to the S22 Ultra? And the number one thing that is the most important, and in my opinion the most important to most consumers, is the price. The resale on these phones is terrible. So if you own one and you're trying to resell and make some money off of these, not very good. But if you're in the used phone market and you don't mind paying, you know, a few $100s, without like financing it on like an installment plan, like at a carrier, and you want to get a good phone, this is a very huge contender for like budget phone of the year, honestly, if you're talking about used phones. Because these phones, I feel like for the most part, the ones that you find on the used market are not used very much, and you're getting a flagship device. You're gonna take a little bit of an L on the battery life and on the camera, but overall, performance, display, speaker, everything else that a Galaxy device brings, this thing has. And I think that's what makes this the most interesting buy for early 2021, or I'm sorry, early 2022, and probably for the remainder of the year. This will only get cheaper, and we'll have to see what Z Flip 4 does. But as of right now, Z Flip 3, is it the best device? Is it better than the S22 Ultra? No, but when you consider value, I think this puts this above the S22 Ultra, especially if you're looking for the best bang for your buck, right? But all in all, that is my take when it comes to the value.
The thing that makes me come back to this phone here, the Z Flip 3, and makes me want to use it and pop my SIM card in again, is not the functionality, not the ease of use, not even the size. It's just flat out how fun this thing is. Like, there's something fun about just being able to flip to end a phone call, being able to flip open, and this is the exact same reason I still carry my Z Fold 3. Because you can flip this thing open, it's fun, it just looks cool, and it just brings back that excitement of smartphones that we once had. And unfortunately, it's slowly drifting away. Because now every year, you know what to expect, you know what's expected. Nothing's actually fun, hip, or new anymore. It's all just kind of the same thing, better specs, a little bit better camera, boom, different color, slap on a new color, maybe a new case, and that's about it. This though, however, brings a different aspect, and we need to be excited about these phones because this makes it.
Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and do the speaker test
or as I like to call it, the bootleg speaker test, because this isn't using decibel meters or anything like that. This is just me using my ear and then you guys using your guys' speakerphone based on what you guys hear. So jumping right into it, let's start with the S22 Ultra. Let's see how loud this is.
So how do you feel about Samsung artificially slowing down your phone
That's
to
max
preserve
volume.
battery life and reduce heat? Let's talk about this.
Okay, so we got that one. That was pretty loud.
So how do you feel about
This is
Samsung
max volume.
artificially slowing down your phone to preserve battery life and reduce heat? Let's talk about this.
Okay, so just based on that, they're both loud. Don't get me wrong, but the S22 Ultra is a little bit louder, and it's noticeable. If you got both phones in front of you. Now, the Z Flip 3 is not a bad speaker though. That actually sounded pretty good. They both sound about, clarity-wise, they both sound about the same. Bass is pretty much about the same. And the only difference really is the loudness. Sorry, it started to get windy, but this makes it so that smartphone manufacturers can continue to innovate, continue to spark new things, new interesting things, new exciting things. Not only does that make it better for consumers like me and you, but we get cool things, man. And that's why I'm so excited about this. That's why this is my daily driver for the next couple days. But until next time, guys, that's all I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe if you liked everything that you saw today. And we will catch you guys in the next one. By the way, let's get to 1,000 subscribers. We could do this. Let's do it. All right, guys. See you guys later. Peace.